Today is Thursday, June 12th. 12th at 2:47 a.m. It's almost the witching hour. Anyways, if you don't know me already, my name is Madison. I used to stream on Twitch under my gamertag Unicorn Blood. Any hoodles. I'm afraid of the dark. Love Halloween. Love spooky things. Love scary movies, especially like the found footage ones. Those ones are great. Used to love doing SFX makeup. Still love doing it. Haven't done it in a while, so I don't know if I'm any good anymore. Excuse me. That's a little intro of me. Haha. In my lifetime, I have a lot of things that have like accumulated to my fear of the dark. They've just all piled up. Oopsies, you can't function when it's dark out. That's me. I mean, I can function. I actually function better at nighttime, but I'm afraid of the dark. Lights have to be on. Street lights, the two that are on the streets in Germany, they're not good enough. But yeah, we're gonna dive into some of the more paranormal side of why I'm afraid of the dark. There's not a whole lot, it's just like really minuscule things that kind of make your spine tingle. Yeah, let's get into it. When I was in high school, I started going to watch the sunrise at Lake Michigan, but I wouldn't watch it like in the park area. No, that would that would make too much sense. I would go into like the little woods area off to the side, down the stairs, because it was just like a cute little secret place to go watch the sunrise, right? One time I went there with some classmates to film a project, and there was like a thing there that was kind of like spooky dooky a little bit. But yeah, that kind of put me on edge a little bit, like there might be something going on there that I didn't want to dive into or, didn't want to experience ever. But I still went. I went to these college parties at Lakeland with my friends. Shout out Alex, best host around. I would stay up all night and then drive to Lake Michigan to go watch the sunrise at 3 a.m. One of the times that I went, I sat down on this big rock that was there, and I had never sat down before. I would just stand there and wait, skip rocks because the water was like still as glass early in the morning. But one time I decided I was going to sit down on this big rock that was there. After I sat down, I felt the wind just like pick up, and then I thought I felt something grab my shoulder, and it kind of freaked me out. I dipped. I had to leave. I did not watch the sunrise that day. I went back again with a friend. They were like, "Where are we going?" And I told them where we were going, and they're like, "Yeah, no, you should probably not do that because like an incident happened there." And I looked that incident up, and sure enough, and then he also told me that there's like a big rock down there, and if you sit on the rock, you can sometimes hear or feel her. So that was cool, and I never went back to watch the sunrise again. Yep. I'm a coward. What can I say? I just can't help it. Yeah, shout out to that person for ruining watching the sunrise for me forever. Whatever happened with me feeling like I was touched. Thank you, ghost thing. Ah. I had always been like reading things about this place and hearing things about this place. I always wanted to check it out. I had checked it out during the daytime, pretty cute little cemetery. They close, I think it's at like 4 or 5 p.m. But one night I got off of work like really early. I was working overnight. Got off at like 2 a.m. and I decided, I don't really want to go home. I just drove around and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the Glimbila Cemetery at the witching hour because I'm quirky like that. Whatever was going through my brain. I was driving towards the cemetery, like going up the hill that's there in my 2019 Dodge Charger, and this was like 2022. Okay. So this car was like still pretty new, decent mileage on it, no lights or anything. All of a sudden, as I'm nearing the top of the hill, my car just like stops running. It started like rolling backwards down this hill. That's a little weird. Try it again. And then I got a little like further up the hill this time. It stopped running again. That's great. My car is just taking an absolute dump on me. I just turned around and drove home because I'm not messing with that, right? Nothing happened to my car on the drive home. Hello, dog. Pretty darn spooky. Apparently, people have seen glowing shoes in the graveyard at night. And obviously, my little coward ass isn't gonna walk around a cemetery that's supposedly like severely haunted at nighttime. I feel like either something didn't want me there or that was like God telling me that I just needed to not mess with it. To do it once, yeah. Okay. A little weird, especially in my basically brand new car. But to do it twice is it's a little spooky. But yeah, I just wanted to see if I could see the glowing shoes. That was it. That's all I wanted. Whatchamacallit? The place in Sheboygan County that's abandoned and crazy people used to be there. Old people, probably. A hospital? It wasn't an asylum, okay? My mom used to like volunteer or work or something there. My grandma used to work there. Two of my great aunts used to work there. It wasn't just an asylum. I feel like people have said so much about that place that it started to be what they said it was. It was always like really scary. I went there when I was a kid, like really little one, to visit my grandma and stuff. And the people were a little odd. They were there for like rehab and mental health things, other reasons, like maybe their family members couldn't take care of them or didn't want to take care of them, which is really sad. But like, there was nothing wrong with the place. Nothing crazy happened there. Everybody was like, pretty fine. I went on a ghost tour with a friend. We'll say I went on a ghost tour with two friends, but only one of them is still my bestie. Shout out Hunter, facing his fears. Nothing happened the entire time. Like things happened, like spirit boxes and EMF readers. They exist. They're solid claims that they might work, but there's no concrete proof. It could just be a coincidence. We got towards like the end of our tour and we went into a room. It was pretty small, but like I wasn't back to back with anyone or anything. There was at least a foot between me and the wall behind me. There's nobody else behind me. There was maybe 6 inches between each person. And the guide was talking about how there was a male spirit or entity in this room that was like good with the ladies. When he was a patient, he used to like flirt with the nurses. And I don't know how true that story is. They might have just gathered that, or nurses that went on the tour and they're like, "Oh, I think I remember somebody like that." But nobody knows if he died, where he died, because this place is closed pretty recently, obviously. Not like recently enough for me to have gone there as a little kid. So it could have been a quote unquote spirit of this person. In that room, every single woman all at the same time turned to whoever they were with and asked them if they touched them. Right before that, I had longer hair then. It was like down here. It was some good long thick hair. It literally felt like somebody had grabbed my hair in the back, lifted it up to like here, and just let it drop. Yeah, every single woman in that room was asking, and every single person said, "No, I didn't touch you." I turned and asked the people that I was with, and they're like, "No." And it's not like my hair could have gotten caught on the wall or anything. I never leaned against the wall once. It was pretty freaky after that. We proceeded to walk out, and at the end of the hallway, there was like a shadow figure. Granted, you're in the dark, your eyes are going to play tricks on you regardless. You're going to see shadow figures, right? So I don't know the validity of this, but I saw it. Pretty sure Hunter saw it. The guide told us that people had been rushed by the shadow figure and started acting crazy, cussing each other out, throwing hands, literally vomiting until being removed from the premises, which is kind of terrifying. But that didn't happen to us, thankfully. I probably would have been scarred for life. If you've ever had any paranormal experiences, or if you have any way to explain anything that happened here, feel free to let me know. Comment below, better yet. Yeah, I think I've had enough for tonight.